nature's sublime wonderlands, the admiration and joy of the world. John Muir.
This week on Bill Moyers' Journal. How our healthcare system surgically removes your wallet.
The current medical care system is not designed to meet the health needs of the population. It's designed to turn a profit. It's designed to meet the needs of the people in power.
Millions of people are uninsured. And sure, that's part of the problem, but that's not the whole problem. The whole problem is bigger than that.
When you have a system that's built around generation of revenue, and that money is not being put back into the system to help people, we've lost our way.
Money-driven medicine. Stay tuned. Funding for Bill Moyers' Journal is provided by the Partridge Foundation, a John and Polly Guth charitable fund. Park Foundation, dedicated to heightening public awareness of critical issues. The Kohlberg Foundation, the Herb Alpert Foundation, Marilyn and Bob Clements and the Clements Foundation, the Fetzer Institute, the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, the Public Welfare Foundation, and by our sole corporate sponsor, Mutual of America, providing retirement plan products and services to employers and individuals since 1945. Mutual of America, your retirement company. From our studios in New York, Bill Moyers. Welcome to the Journal. The world of medicine has changed radically since I was a kid in East Texas. Back then, Dr. Sam Tinney made house calls for a couple of bucks a visit. Dr. Granberry raced to a patient's side with such speed you could hear his tires screeching around the courthouse square blocks away. And if you needed a prescription, Dr. Wyatt would offer to drop it off at your door on his way to the hospital, a nonprofit community hospital, by the way, run by civic-minded citizens who counted every penny. If any of them were around today, they would surely marvel at our high-tech medicine. But as prudent folks, they would also marvel, in a horrified way, I think, at the cost of it all. How did we get here? Maggie Mahar wanted to find out. She's one of our best financial journalists. Now, after years of research, she has written Money-Driven Medicine, the real reason health care costs so much. During their summer recess, if every member of the House and Senate would read it before returning to Washington, the outcome of the health care debate might be very different. In this broadcast, we will share with you a film based on Maggie Mahar's work. The book and the film couldn't be more timely as our country wrestles with what to do about money-driven medicine.
All right, I'm Dr. Northfleet, and Joel has been talking to you about the belly pain that you're having right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it the same kind of pain you've had before, Mr. Woolsall?
No.
Okay.
It started about a month ago.
The pain you're having now?
Yeah.
And who's your primary doctor?
I don't have one right now.
Okay. Have you've admitted to the hospital before, though? You've been here before?
I was admitted to the Centennial Hospital.
Okay.
I had chest pains, and that's when they found the hepatitis.
Oh, boy. Hepatitis B or C or
both?
Wow. You have a history of ulcers, anything like that?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
And you haven't seen anybody else about this, huh?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I went to the downtown clinic because when this happened, I wasn't able to work. I lost my job. I lost my apartment.
Okay.
And so I'm just trying to get help.
Yes, sir. We're going to help you, okay? He's complaining of vomiting blood. It's been going on a month, so it's never considered an emergency anymore. It's considered a chronic problem. But we get a lot of patients like that the emergency department is the only place they can go to maybe address their problem. He didn't have the luxury of having a primary care provider, which is a luxury in this country, which is kind of sad. We're like the richest country, and a lot of our people don't have doctors, so they use the emergency department in order to see a physician.
You got a lot of congestion there in the back of your throat. You feel like it's kind of sitting there?
Well, that second to last tooth is infected, and the very back tooth looks broken off.
All right.
Over the last 12 years, the number of people visiting America's emergency room.
That we get lost in that system that Brianna shouldn't have had to face, and so many millions of other people shouldn't have to face.
I think healthcare is more about love than about most other things. If there isn't at the core of this two human beings who have agreed to be in a relationship where one is trying to help relieve the suffering of another, which is love, you can't get to the right answer here.
Okay, we'll get you.
It begins so much for me in that relationship that everything that's built around it had better make damn sure that it's supporting that and not hurting it. And a lot of the structures I'm talking about, fragmented structures, transaction-oriented structures, competitive structures, forget that this is about two people meeting, and that's all it's about.
Money-Driven Medicine, a film produced by Alex Gibney, Peter Bull, and Chris Mattanti, directed by Andy Fredericks, and based on Maggie Mahar's book of the same name. Log on to pbs.org and click on Bill Moyers' Journal. Maggie Mahar will be there to answer your questions online. We'll link you to the Money-Driven Medicine website where there's more info about the book and the film. We'll also link you to some analysis of what advocates of reform are up against in taking on the health insurance industry, the drug lobby, and the Wall Street equity firms. Take a look at this recent cover of Business Week. Reporters Chad Terhune and Keith Epstein write that the CEOs of the giant insurance companies should be smiling. Their lobbyists have already won. Quote, no matter what specifics emerge in the voluminous bill Congress may send to President Obama this fall, the insurance industry will emerge more profitable. And remember that television ad Barack Obama made as a candidate for president?
The pharmaceutical industry wrote into the prescription drug plan that Medicare could not negotiate with drug companies. And you know what? The chairman of the committee who pushed the law through went to work for the pharmaceutical industry making $2 million a year. Imagine that. Imagine that. That's an example of the same old game playing in Washington. You know, I don't want to learn how to play the game better. I want to put an end to the game playing.
Now look at this recent story in the Los Angeles Times. Lo and behold, since the election, the pharmaceutical industry's $2 million a year superstar lobbyist Billy Tauzin has morphed into President Obama's pal. Tauzin says the president has promised not to pressure the drug companies to negotiate with the government for lower drug prices, and has agreed not to allow cheaper drugs to be imported from Canada or Europe, contrary to the position taken by candidate Obama. Each of these stories illuminates the scarlet thread that runs through Maggie Mahar's book, the story of how today's market-driven medical system gives Wall Street investors life and death control over our health care, turning medicine into a profit machine instead of a social service to meet human need. That's the conflict at the heart of next month's showdown in Washington. I'm Bill Moyers. See you next time.
Read more from Maggie Mahar and view the Journal's complete coverage of healthcare reform. Log on at pbs.org. Major funding is provided by the Partridge Foundation, a John and Polly Guth charitable fund. Park Foundation, dedicated to heightening public awareness of critical issues. The Kohlberg Foundation, the Herb Alpert Foundation, Marilyn and Bob Clements and the Clements Foundation, the Fetzer Institute, the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, the Public Welfare Foundation, and by our sole corporate sponsor, Mutual of America, providing retirement plan products and services to employers and individuals since 1945. Mutual of America, your retirement company.
I am PBS.
Made possible by
Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
I'm Paul Kangas with a nightly business report news brief. People didn't earn more money in July, but they spent a bit more. The small pop in spending, just 0.2%, is thanks largely to the Cash for Clunkers program. Intel today raised its third quarter sales forecast by $500 million. It sees strong demand for laptops driving computer chip sales. Speaking of chips, the blue chips were hit by profit-taking despite that bullish Intel news. The Dow closed off 36 points, but the tech-laden NASDAQ managed a 1-point gain. Standard & Poor's 500 down 2 points. Monday, our commentator says Washington cannot fix the economy alone. It needs the private sector to do some heavy lifting. For more financial news, tune in to Nightly Business Report weeknights on this public television station.
This is Primetime PBS on member-supported MPT.
Tonight on Primetime PBS.
Mystery presents the Inspector Lindley Mysteries.
Oh, no, that's him.
A crime from the past reverberates painfully in the present.
I don't think it's the first time he's been shot.
All those war zones he came back from, and he winds up dead in the middle of London.
Look, I wish I knew something. I could arrest you.
You think he did it? Don't ruin your life.
You stole a gun. You were expecting to use it. Why?
The Inspector Lindley Mysteries.
Tonight at 10 on MPT.
It's time to practice staying healthy on Sesame Street.
Right. Now, the first thing you have to do to stay healthy is always wash your hands.
Yeah, come on. Wash with Elmo. Wash, wash, wash.
And when you have to sneeze or cough, do it into the bend of your arm.
Oh, sneeze into your arm with Elmo. Achoo.
Great job.
Elmo feels a real sneeze.
Oh, now, remember what we practiced.
Achoo.
Now keep practicing, and you'll stay happy and healthy, too.
For more information on how to encourage healthy habits in your child, visit sesamestreet.org.
Hi, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Join me on our search for America's hidden treasures, and you don't even need to saddle up.
I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings.
Oh, my God. Oh, don't cry. Oh, you gotta be kidding. I'm not kidding.
Next time from Tucson, Arizona on Antiques Roadshow.
Monday night at 8 on MPT.
MPT's Primetime PBS is supported by our members and the following.
Abramovitz Wealth Management is a financial planning firm specializing in estate, retirement, investment, and business succession planning. For over 16 years, working to help clients obtain confidence in their planning. 410-486-2060.
Alex Cooper Real Estate, offering a variety of marketing and auction services to Maryland.